Okay, so hi and welcome everyone. So we're going to be continuing from where we left from the last lesson or the last session. If you remember, we were talking about the past simple tense. So we were able to talk about something that was happening or happened in the past. And so now we're on 6B and it's titled Visiting the Past. And first of all, can I say hi? We've got two new students. Sorry, yesterday we went straight into the lesson. We've got Jimin. I know most of you've already met Jimin and Daniel who have joined us. So yes, we're glad to have you with us and yeah, to enjoy learning English and practicing as much English as you can get always. So welcome, and I know you've already met. We've done some group work, so we're always trying to, work on our textbook and just also be, having group things. If you remember from yesterday, we were doing. You had to write about a famous person. Does anyone? I know most students are not here yet. Does anyone have their groups all here? So we had the Shakira group, Queen Elizabeth. Is all your team here or no? Your team?
Elizabeth was in my
Yes. Who was in your team? Yeah. And who else? Mariana. Okay. And Shakira, you're not. No one's all here. No.
Yeah.
One more person missing. Yes. And the last group in the back. Yeah. Oh, okay. And you finished? You ready to present? Okay, come up and present. Yeah.
Laila, I can present some.
But you're missing one team member.
Because yesterday I write that out.
Yes, good. But you're missing sorry, who was in your Mariana? She's not here. After. Okay, you can do after. Okay, so we can have one group coming up. Yeah? Oh, we'll do it after the break because I'll give you a little bit more time to prepare. Let's do the presentations after the break. Are you ready? Okay, we can start. Are you ready now? You feel ready? You want to come do now? Come. Okay. Which person did you have? So let's watch a presentation of a group teamwork that are going to be talking about someone. So we want to listen to the past, was, were, the EDs added to the action words. So try and listen to the past tense. Okay, so before we start, who do we have? Which person? Which person?
Yes,
So I can put it up.
the person is Pele.
The football player, Pele. This one? This guy? Okay. So, just a moment. I will share. Okay, so tell us about Pele.
Okay. Pele was born in Brazil in 1940.
In 1940?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was from Três Corações,
Okay.
City, Minas Gerais. Pelé was famous
Yes.
because play soccer. He plays soccer really well.
He has 6 children. Yeah. Okay. Had. Right. Yeah.
And left to his family blessing.
And what, sorry?
left to his family on December.
He left his family in December.
Okay. 29. 20.
22.
20. Yeah, he left his family to play hockey. Yeah. Last was very young. So what else about him? He's passed away now. He died. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, he died. Okay, but he's and his honor and excellence. Amazing because he so much for the resilience of the as well.
Olha, ele tem aqui, ó.
The team of football, they come. So you tell them the Australian football. Good. So this us okay. The new series. This is going to go on. It's different. So,
Nowadays, nem mais.
Netflix, History, Pelé, movie. Yeah, about true story, his life.
So Neymar, you've got, yeah, sorry Neymar. Pele is more good. Okay, so thank you. So we'll have another presentation after when the rest of the team show up. So that means let's get into our lesson. So we're on 6B, page, hey Fernando, page 72, visiting the past. Visiting the past. Okay, so I can see there's two images. There's no caption. There's one image, like a woman rock climbing, and then maybe this is the same woman and she's by a fire. Okay, so we have to listen to a documentary to understand the picture. So let's listen. I'll play it 2 times. We can listen the first time, and after we can answer some questions. So just listen for now.
Track 60, Unit 6B. The Mustang region is in the Himalayan mountains of northern Nepal, and it's famous for its ancient caves. Humans made the caves about 1,000 years ago, and many people lived in them until the 15th century, before they built houses and moved to town. The caves were warm and dry, and they were safe because of their location. Even today, you can find people who lived in the caves. This woman, Yandu Vista, was born in a cave, and she grew up here with her family. Life was difficult. They didn't have water in the cave, so she went to the river every day and brought water up the mountain. In the end, her family moved to the town, but she says, "I like living in a cave better."
Okay, let's listen now and answer the questions number 3, 1 to 6. So fill in the blank. So we understand caves, what they are. So these are caves up here. caves. And it looks like this woman, so this is in Nepal, and this woman she lives in the caves, and she prefers to live in the cave. So now let's answer the questions.
Track 60, Unit 6B. The Mustang region is in the Himalayan mountains of northern Nepal, and it's famous for its ancient caves. Humans made the caves about 1,000 years ago, and many people lived in them until the 15th century, before they built houses and moved to towns. The caves were warm and dry, and they were safe because of their location. Even today, you can find people who lived in the caves. This woman, Yandu Vista, was born in a cave, and she grew up here with her family. Life was difficult. They didn't have water in the cave, so she went to the river every day and brought water up the mountain. In the end, her family moved to the town, but she says, "I like living in a cave better."
Okay, let's answer some of the questions. So we have this woman that lives in these caves. So we know the caves are in the Mustang region of northern, which country? Northern, no, Nepal. So Nepal, map. So if we look at a map of Nepal, I'll do a world map. This is a good map. Okay, so we have Australia here. We have Nepal right here. I'll show you another photo. Next to Nepal, China, Nepal, India, Tibet. So it's more on the border with Tibet, India. Yeah, so it's a little section of land. Oh, this is more better. There we go, Nepal. So next to India. So this is the northern part, so up in the top. So Nepal, Nepal. Nepal. Okay, humans made the caves about 1,000. Yep, so 1000, 1,000 years ago. Many people lived in them until the 15th century. So we remember, because yesterday we were talking, or last lesson, we were talking about centuries. So the 15th century is, so the 15th century would be from 1400 to 1499. That's the 15th century. So 15th century. Okay, and Yandu Bista, that's this woman's name, Yandu Bista was born. So we can see the past to be, was, because it's a finished action. She's not doing it anymore. She's already been born. So she was born in a cave.
Teacher, what is it for?
Number 4, the caves were warm and, dry. Yes, warm and dry. All right, the answers here. So the first word, Nepal, Then we had 1000. The 15th century, just 15th. And then dry, and then born. And the last one, in the end, her family moved to the town that she says, this is what she said, I like living in a cave better. So she's comparing her life in a cave to her life in a home. So amazing, these caves, ancient, old caves. So what we're trying to see here is that we're using the past to be. We said we have past verbs, lived, were, was, moved. Okay, past actions that are completed and finished. That's what we're looking at here. The past tense, when we add the ed, completed, finished action. Okay, let's go to the next page. So we're still on the past simple, and we looked at regular verbs, we add the ed, but now we're going to look at some irregular. So we can kind of see a little bit of a pattern. Go is went. Bring, bought, brought. Build, to build something, is built. So from the D to the T. Do, did. Have, had, make, made. So, sorry, I said there's a pattern. There's no pattern. You just, here's some more. You just have to remember them. So an example, grew up in a cave. So the verb is to grow up. In the past, I grew up in Brazil. And if you want to make it a negative, you add didn't. So I didn't live in Brazil. I didn't see that movie. I didn't whatever. In the past, yesterday, I didn't go somewhere. So you don't put an ed. Just be careful. It's didn't verb. There's no ed. There's only ed when you make a sentence with a I. It's an affirmative sentence, positive sentence. I went, I played yesterday soccer, I saw my friend, I read a book, but I didn't read a book. I didn't see my friend. I didn't live in Brazil. Okay, so that's looking at the irregular and the negative. So let's answer some questions. Do the verbs in the past simple end in ed? Do all verbs in the past simple end in ed? All of them? No. So the answer is no, because you have irregular that break the rule. Does the verb change in the third person for he, she, it? No. It's the same for all the subjects. It's only in the present simple, hi Mariana, where you say, instead of I live in Adelaide, she lives in Adelaide. So it's only for the present simple. This is the past simple. So we do not change for he, she, it. They all have the same ending, even if it's irregular or negative. So I didn't see that movie, you didn't see that movie, she didn't see that movie, he didn't see that movie, they didn't see that movie, we didn't see that movie. So does the verb ending in the third person, he, she, it, change? No. What auxiliary verb do you use for the negative sentence? So an auxiliary verb is a verb that we add to the main verb to help it out. So what is the auxiliary verb? Yeah. So did or do, really? The answer is do. but in the past, to make it negative, did not. So what is the auxiliary verb? Do. Do. So it's using the auxiliary verb do. Okay, very simple. So now we've made affirmative sentences in the past simple. That's this one. We've understood that there are some regulars, so we need to be careful. We made a negative sentence. And if you remember in the last lesson, we made some questions. But let's just keep practicing the irregular for now. So complete the sentences with the past simple form of the verb. Be careful, some are regular and some are irregular. So humans, we'll start with Jimin for this one. Humans, you have to put make in the past. So what's your answer? Humans. Made. Yep. So M-A-D, made. Yeah. Humans made the cave. It's irregular, right? Made the caves about 1,000 years ago. So it's a past finished action. It's not happening now. The caves are not still being made. That's it. They were made 1,000 years ago. They're not being made anymore. They were made 1,000 years ago. Okay, number 2. Many people, Conrado, lived. Many people lived in them until the 15th century. Yep, with an ED, lived. So remember last lesson we talked about the pronunciation for the ending of the past, and this is what we had. So live is lived, the E becomes silent, and it has one syllable, one sound, lived, not livid, because then that's 2 or 3 sounds, livid, it's lived, lived, lived. Okay, number 3, Letizia. So they built. Yep, built. So with a T, that makes it the past. So they built houses and moved. Moved to towns. For Fernando. Yes, Yandu Bista was born in a, so make sure your at is more stronger, in a cave. Cave, yes. Yes, the at must be loud because it's a little word. It's only one letter, so you have to push it stronger so people can hear you. So Yandu Bista was born in a cave. It's the most important letter that needs to be a. So it's only one letter. So we want to give it more push to the sound. And was good because to be, that verb to be, is was in the past, singular. If it was plural, what would that word be? Not was, but were. Yeah. So Yandu Vista was, we're only talking about one person. So she was born in a cave. She, Ojulan, grew up. She grew up. Yeah, she grew up here with her family. So we need to push those H's a little bit. Here with her family. With her, yeah, here, here. Well, American pronunciation or Australian pronunciation? Both correct. The American sounds nicer, I'll be honest. But you'll hear the Australian a lot more if you live here. 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 Yeah. So 6. Daniel. They, negative. This is a negative. So what do we add to the negative? Let's have a look at our rule first. In the negative, we add didn't before the verb. There's no ed. So they didn't have. Yeah, they didn't have water in the cave. Good. 7. Joanna. Yeah, she went to the river every day and brought water up the mountain. Good. So that's some past verbs there. We have regular past verbs that take the ed. We have some irregular, such as made, and we have a negative. So that's all you have to remember. Past, simple, finished, completed action. These actions are not happening anymore. Okay, let's keep practicing with the irregular. So we have the verb to be, to get, to go, to grow up, to have, to leave. We want to put them in the past. So number 1, Mariana. I was born. Yep. B is was in the past for singular. I was born in 1939. 2, Alexandria. I grew up. No, grow is in the present.
Yeah, but I don't know what.
You don't know what it means? Like, I was raised. Like, I lived as a child here, and I grew up. I think in Spanish, it's very different in Spanish. Yes. Yeah, crescendo and all that, like to grow up. Yeah, to grow up in Spanish. Yeah. Crecer. So to grow up, to be raised, to maybe you use a different verb, but we use this one. Is this the same verb you use in Brazil? Sorry, in Portuguese? Yeah? Yeah, so you say in a sentence like this. Yeah, so I grew up. So is this sentence correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the verb, grow up. That's Portuguese and Spanish. Spanish. Yep. And Korean.
Yeah, it's correct.
Good? Perfect? Okay, because sometimes Google Translate are not good. It's good? It's correct? Good. So that's so I grew up in a big city with my brother and 2 sisters. 3, back to you, Jimin. I
went to.
Yeah, my first school when I was 4 years old. Good. So went, because it comes from the verb go. We need to put it in the past. It's like yesterday I went to the supermarket. So I went to my first school when I was 4 years old. Because I'm not 4 years old anymore. I was. We need to say was, not I am. I was. And number 4, Solange did it for us. So was. Number 2 is grew up. And number 3 went. Number 4 is I had a bicycle from my parents when I was 7. No, I got. So got. For number 4, I got a bicycle from my parents when I was 7. That's from the verb get. So get becomes got in the past. It's irregular. I got 5, Conrado. Yeah, I had a job on the weekends. So remember, in Australia, we say on the weekends. British say at the weekends. So be very careful. In Australia, we say on the weekends. So I had a job on the weekends. Letizia, number 6. 16. Yeah, so I left. It's an irregular poem. When I was. So remember, we use the verb to be. That's the first verb that we learned when we talk about age, location, job, adjective. So when I was 16, age was. Okay, so now I'll give you 2 minutes. Rewrite these sentences from 1 to 6 so that they are true for you. So for example, for me, I'm going to write the first one is I was born in 1985. So rewrite the sentences for you, all of them, so they are true. You can add, maybe you can say, I grew up in a small city. You can change it. I grew up in the village with my 3 sisters. So write the sentences so they are true for you. Okay, and then we'll read them out. So I'll give you 2 minutes. Okay, let's check some of your answers. So starting with Jimin, what did you write for the first one?
I was born in 1984.
Yes, perfect. So yours is 1984. Conrado, what did you write for the second one? Grew up? Yeah.
With my sister and 3 brothers.
Nice. I grew up in a big city with my sister and 3 brothers. That sounds like fun. Poor the sister with 4 brothers. Okay. Letizia, what did you write for number 3? Yeah, 3.
I went to my
Yeah, nice. So I went to my first school when I was 3 years old. Good. Fernando, number 4. You can make it a negative if it wasn't true.
I got a video game
Oh, nice.
from my parents when I was 8.
I got a video game from my parents when I was 8. And that's when it all started. The video gaming. It's the best at that age. Yeah. I think mine, yeah, around the same age. Okay, Ojulan, number 5. Yeah, I didn't have a job on the weekends when I was when you were young. Yeah, good. It could be a negative. Yep. What about 6, Daniel? When I was 10. Wow. Yep. Oh, 20. 20. Perfect. So I left home when I was 20. Back to number 1, Joanna. So I was born in 1996. Wow. 1996. 2, Mariana. Nice. I grew up in a small city with my sister. Good. Alexandria, number 4.
So one plane when I was 20 years.
Nice. I got a bicycle from a friend. We can just say from a friend. We don't need to say one friend. From a friend when I was 12 years old. Nice. So I got a bicycle from a friend. Nice. So maybe not from the parents, but from a friend when I was 12 years old. And good, that's everyone. Or Solange, if you want to write one of your answers. Good. So we saw that these are all past simple sentences. Okay, let's look at some more rules. So if we want to make a question, this is what we do. To make a question, we looked before how we use one of the 6 W's: what, where, when, why, which, and there's one more. I can't remember it. And then how, and then you put was or were, subject, and then the verb. So we looked at that last lesson. But now we want to make a question with what did. So it's this one. So this is the question we are going to be making today. So that's okay, Solange. So you have to make a sentence for number 6. For number 6 and 7, rewrite them like the examples we did here that I did before. I was born. You have to put which information is true for you. I grew up. Where? Okay, so the question is what? So you can see it's one of the 6 W's. What did you do on the weekends? That's a question. And the affirmative, which is just a statement, a sentence, is I, subject, verb, met, that's irregular, some friends. So it's not happening now or tomorrow in the future. It's last weekend. What did you do? Not what do or what will. It's what did you do, because it's a finished, completed action. So where did you go? So same thing. We're making a question using this rule, number 3. Where is about location. So where did you go? Where did you go? So this verb doesn't have an ed. There's no ed on this verb. So what did you do? Where did you go? Who did you see? Why did you do that? Affirmative, we went. Went comes from go. That's in the past simple. We went to a museum. Now, another way to make a question is using this rule, number 4. So we say, did subject. So did. So I'll just see why. Okay, so did you go to the cinema? The answer, yes, I did. No, I didn't. Okay, so we've learned two ways to make a question. So what auxiliary verb, remember an auxiliary verb is an action verb which we add to the main one. There's two main ones, to be and to have. So what auxiliary form do you use in the past simple question? Well, if I look here for the first one, what did you do? The main verb is do, because I want to know what you do, what did you do? So what's the auxiliary verb? It goes before the main verb. It's did. Or it's do in the past. Where did you go? Go is the main verb. So did is the auxiliary. So just so you can see it, it's like this. So any question, I'm just making any question. So when did you travel to Paris? So travel is the main verb, and then did is the auxiliary. Okay, so that's how you know which one is the main verb and which one is the auxiliary. So we want this one, the auxiliary. Did. Okay, let's complete some more questions. With did or didn't. So we have a conversation. A will be Conrado and B is Daniel.
How was your weekend?
It was very fun. What
Did you do?
Yeah, what did you do?
I went to do
Birmingham. I went to Birmingham. Oh,
Oh. Oh no.
oh no, from that video, yeah, that woman in your test. Oh no. Did.
You go shop?
No, I didn't. I went to the museum.
I went to the museum.
All right.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, cool. Yeah.
What did you see?
Yeah. What did you see there?
An exhibition about the lyrics of people from the different centuries.
From the 15th century.
It was interesting.
Yes, but there's an exclamation mark. So you have to say that with more excitement. Like Fernando. Yes, that's it. It was fantastic. Yeah.
Did you go with
Anyone? Did you go with anyone?
I did go to with I did
Okay, just a couple of mistakes. So we can't say did go because he said but. So it must be I didn't. Negative. I didn't go to the museum with anyone, but I met So not meet, because meet is with double E. It's the past, irregular, met. But I met an old friend afterwards for lunch. Okay, good. So now number 10. So we're gonna work in pairs and you're gonna do number 10, 11 and 12 together. And this is your pairs. Okay, so let's have a check of some of these sentences. So we're gonna go to number 11. And thank you. You should all have written some sentences. So let's check them. So the first one. So let's do Odilon and Letizia. What sentence do you have for number 11? Are you up to that part? Did you finish 10? You're 11? Are not finished? Okay. Maybe I'll give you a few more minutes to finish number 10. Are you up to Fernando 10 or 11? With Solange, 10 or 11? Okay, so I'll give you a few more minutes and then we'll come and check them. Okay, so let's continue. So where we left off, we were doing 10, 11 and 12. So number 11, does anyone like to share one of their sentences? So you had to write 6 short sentences, number 11, about what you did yesterday. So just one sentence, Conrado, what did you do yesterday?
Entendeu? Não, mas
Number
o seu
11.
eu tô no horário 10 horas aqui, aí é de Campinas. Eu não sei, ele fez uma confusão com esse horário aí todinho, e ele me deixou tão louca, que eu fiquei, que merda de horário, eles não estão entendendo.
Yeah.
Se é 10 horas aqui, eu tenho que começar 10 horas. Ele
In
marcou
a big house?
10 AM, não é 10 horas?
Okay, so yesterday I went to work in a big house. Yep, good. So using go, we say went.
Falei pra ele, cara,
Fernando, what did you do yesterday?
eu falei pra
So
ele,
number 11.
inferno, você tá tirando a minha paz. Fala essa parte. Falei,
Tem que botar tudo pra fora.
Falei.
Não, fala desgraça.
I had,
Fora.
Você tá tirando a minha. Falei pra ele,
Tem
você
que
tá,
falar, pode guardar. Você guarda, você
Yeah.
você tá tirando a minha. Aí você tá ficando.
2. This is good. Yeah, now you use the present, the past perfect. So we don't want to practice this is a good sentence. It's good. It makes sense. I had taken the bus to school, but we don't want to use the
Eu não queria
past perfect. So this is the past perfect. We want to use the past simple. So how can I change that?
Leila, ele entende diferente.
Yeah, I took, exactly. So I took the bus to school yesterday. So we're going to make it a past simple sentence. So remember, past simple is subject
Aí o Matheus entra e falou, como que você não
and
entende? Olha,
verb with an ed, but it could be irregular. So
aí
I
eu fui,
took
busquei
is
lá
the
onde ele
past of take.
fala, vai
So it's
começar.
I took. I took. There's no had. We cannot add a
Aí eu falei,
second
cara,
verb had because that's the
toda
the past.
hora. Eu falei, tá tudo aqui.
Perfect.
Você
So
falou que
it
tava
has to be I took the bus to
passou umas
school.
horas,
Okay,
Eu-
and one more, Mariana.
e você falou,
Yesterday,
me disse,
what
eu
did
estava
you do?
dando aula. No mesmo dia que você não podia dar aula para mim, você deu para outra pessoa depois. Eu que tô
If I can remember.
Aí, nossa, eu ficava tão nervosa. Você acredita? Parece uma coisa que o meu Skype não abriu naquele sábado, não abriu. Falei para ele assim, cara, você
Tá fazendo pelo computador?
É. Falei assim, não abriu mais.
Sabe, ele usava o Skype, né? Ninguém mais nem usa
Yeah.
essa-
So did you do the inspection or you went to because the inspection was at your house?
Good match.
É, vou te meter.
Oh, you did the inspection. Ah, and then I went to do some
também?
inspections
Eu
for
fui,
work. Ah, okay.
Eu sabia. Aí o outro falou que ia
Yes.
estar comigo.
So,
de manhã.
you went to see a house, not
Dormiu.
inspection. Inspection is when you rent a place and then people from the company, they come to do an inspection to make sure that everything is okay, there's no problems, that you're not breaking anything. So you went to go see a house.
Sei.
Is that what you went to go do? To just
Huh?
see, like to rent?
Essa semana não.
Yeah, so I went to see a house. So I went to work. Now we're going to use this word then because it's like, remember we talked about these sequent words? Then, afterwards, after some time, after that. So I went to work, that's one action. And then I went to see a house. Good. So we have two
Aí
of the
hoje
verbs go in the past, went, irregular.
eu vou ligar
Okay,
para você.
good. So that's number 11. Number 12, did anybody create a little conversation?
Eu tô fazendo, mas quando que eu vou
Anyone
fazer?
get up to number 12 in your group?
Problema, não é nem mais dela, o
No?
problema é
No one
cada vez que
did
ela
number
marca.
12?
Eu me dá.
Okay, I'll do number 12. So let's see. Work in pairs, ask and answer questions about your day. Find out what was the same and what was different. So number 12, what did you do on the weekend?
Então, eu não gosto de gente assim.
Similar to also asking, what did you get up to on the weekend?
Muito bom. É muito bom esse produto, viu? Você vai
Or
gostar.
how was your weekend?
É que nem aquela
But
sua
what and how are very different questions because what is like, what did you do? Like, tell me the activities, what did you do? But how was it? Was it good? Was it bad? Was it awful? Was it interesting? Was it exciting? How is a very different question. So let's go with the first one. So what did you we want to make it similar to this. Did you get up? Okay, we want to use did. So I'm not going to pick those. This is interesting. Did you do anything interesting on the weekend?
É. O bolo dela estava cru, né? Se você
Okay, so I might pick this one. So this will be our question 12.
não era o que ele disfarçava, mas
So,
a massa
Little conversation. So the first person A says, did you do anything interesting on the weekend? Using did,
Pra mim, nem
subject, main verb. Did you do anything interesting on the weekend?
uma hora,
The
2 horas,
person can reply,
dia 3 dias, uma semana não respondeu.
yes, I went to the
Nem
theater.
esse povo que inventa de vender as coisas,
Sorry.
trabalha, usa o WhatsApp para trabalho e demora
The
anos
theater.
ter. Ah, que é isso, gente?
Yeah, so I went to the theater.
Vamos lá.
Okay, they can ask, where? Yeah, so what, usually in a theater, it could, yeah, a little bit different to the cinema. A theater, there's more like plays. So was it a comedy show? Was it a romantic, theater show? So theater is like people performing on the, it's more common to think of theater like this. It's a performance. So you're watching people on the stage and maybe they're doing, like a play? Musical. Yeah, so what?
Francês.
Yeah, we can say what did you see first? Because maybe it was a comedy, we don't know. Good, and that's using, we talked about using what did you see? So what did subject main verb see? So where did I get this from? From what we learnt earlier in the lesson. So it's this one. What did you see? Number 3.
E eu falei, ela fica
First
brava.
question was,
A mesma
did
coisa. André,
you
entra por aqui, ninguém me escuta.
Eu
did you do anything interesting on the weekend? Did you do anything interesting on the weekend?
Cara, esses
Okay,
caras
so maybe I'll change that a little bit.
vai pagar
So
lá.
yes, I did.
Seu nome não tá ali no Brasil
I
lá,
went to
mas
the theater. What did you see?
cartão de lá divide em
So how
10,
can we respond to that?
pode
I
dar
saw
$10 por
a
mês aqui.
musical. Maybe now we can say I saw a musical
Do Brasil também que ele não gostou. Também, né?
by whatever name.
Eu pensei, ainda ele falou assim, quem é sua sobrinha? Eu falei, André, nossa, eu dou aula pra ele.
Falou? Muito certinho, uma.
Falei assim, eu acreditei porque
Okay, yeah, there's a musical by Cats in Adelaide.
Tô pedindo dinheiro de volta, mas me devolveu.
André, mas esse grupo André que vai chegar.
Okay, here in Adelaide. This is by Cats. Okay, so I saw a musical by Cats.
Alunos aqui na Austrália.
Queima logo, esculaça.
E eu falei pra ele.
Me
Você
too.
tá no Face,
Manda
na
os áudios,
internet,
tira
tudo.
tira a foto dos filhos, fala aí,
Great.
galera.
Maybe A could say great.
Zero atenção, é golpe, hein? Já fica de olho todo mundo aí.
Well, sounds great. Great. I'll just leave that very short. So that's what we had to do for number 12. It's a little short conversation, practicing how to ask questions in the past. So let me just recap that. Number
O inocente, é o quê? É
Do espanhol.
loiro?
number 12. So number
Tava numa batalha, aí o irmão dele, aí saiu uma briga, ele empurrou um cara, o cara caiu, bateu a cabeça e morreu. Aí ele foi preso.
so this is how we make questions. So we can start with one of the 6 W's or the how. So how was your
É mais da net?
Da Netflix.
where was
Não terminei. Você vai...
sorry, number 3 and 4 were the ones that we recently did. So
Já fez.
where did you go on the weekends? Why did you stay at home? When did you travel to Europe? That's how we do questions. That's one of the ways. And the other way is to start with did. Did you
O inocente.
go to the theater? Did you see Roxana?
Esse cara
Did you go to yeah, that's why I said, did you see Roxana on the weekend? She's not here in this class. Did you
assistir também.
did you see a movie? Did you call your grandmother? So that's how we can ask questions in the past. So either start with one of the W's, what, when, why, where.
Agora, por trás dos seus por trás dos seus olhos.
Da hora.
Esse filme já é de
or how.
essa série. Ai, Matheus, vamos, filho. Por trás dos seus olhos.
So 6 W's or one of the H, how. That's how you start your first question, or you can start with the did. So you got to remember the main verb is always here. That's the main verb. And it's just in see, play, go. You don't put an ed nothing or ing nothing. So that's how we make questions in the past. So let's practice using the first one. Joanna, ask a question to somebody in your class. Using actually number 3 or 4, you can pick. See you tomorrow. Yeah. Where is Fernando?
porque ela fez ela desistiu, né?
Não, só ele deixou daquele cara lá.
So past questions. We're practicing asking past questions using these two rules, number 3 and 4. So there's 1 and 2, but we just want to practice 3 and 4.
O cara falou, amigão, você fica aqui, eu falei,
What did you do yesterday? Good. Good. Yeah, that's okay. I don't remember. Okay, Fernando, pick someone and ask them a question.
Ah, você tá aqui, ou também tá, esquece. Deleta só uma
Não, mas,
Yeah.
É que nem a
mas para aprender,
senhora que estava lá.
Madalena, fala por ele.
One of the 6 W's or did. That's how you start.
De brasileira. Só que me ajudou com minha sobrinha. Nem o brasileiro, amigo da minha sobrinha.
Not the same questions. We can't do this.
Pela minha casa, sabe quem que me ajuda? O australiano. Até hoje me ajuda. Me dão as coisas.
No, not what. So you want to say, did you play soccer yesterday? Yeah, did you play soccer yesterday? Good. So the answer was no, I didn't. And then he gave him the correct information. I played, using past simple, soccer on Sunday. Good. Odilon, pick someone and ask them a question. So remember the 6 W's, you could say what, when, if you want to know about, when did you travel, where did you go, why did you do something, which book did you read, who did you see, how did you go somewhere. So you can ask lots of different questions. Or did.
Adora?
Aí depois eu falo, ô louco.
Good. When did you arrive in Australia? Very good. I arrived
Sexta-feira vai ter vinho aqui?
3 months ago. Good. I arrived in Australia 3 months ago. Full sentences. Good. Daniel, pick someone and ask them a question.
Bora lá para esse povo, cara.
Letizia, yeah.
Como dizia minha você nem quer mais
Sorry?
Você lembra que eu falei que você quer comida não era melhor?
Did you eat at a restaurant yesterday? Maybe I might make it. Yeah. Did you eat at a restaurant yesterday? So it's a did. So you have to say yes, I did, or no, I didn't first. So did you eat at a restaurant yesterday?
Não dava nem para se movimentar. Pastel $10. Horrível.
Yeah, good. No, I didn't. Yeah. Okay, Letizia, ask someone a question.
O tempero. Nem tempero tinha. Credo. Eu ainda comi um caldinho verde. Não, galera. Que chato. O caldinho verde estava bom. Tchau, Dede. Sábado, gente. No seu filho. Ah, tá bom. Me lembra. Você sabe que eu vou esquecer.
Tá bom?
Ah, vai cagar. Caguei. Pegou a coisa?
Não, sei lá.
So we're asking questions using these two. Yeah. Why didn't?
Quer falar para ela? Espera que eu tô chegando.
Why didn't you do your homework? Don't forget the main verb. So this is why we made this one a negative. Didn't you do your homework? Good. Conrado, why didn't you do your homework? So when someone asks a question, because, yes, perfect sentence, because I was working. I forgive you. That's a good reason. Now, Conrado, ask someone a question. You can use the 6 W's or how or did to start.
Da casa de chuva, na cor de labor, e vai lá, vida, pera, ela quer ficar louca, quer ficar bonita, balança a roupa aí, faz de tom perder, mas tu ligou pra você, vai ter medo que mata sua sede, prometo não pular no emergente, bom dentro da Mercedes, fica Mercedes, depois é Mercedes, louco, tá me pedindo de você, verdade, eu vou bater, bater.
Where did you walk yesterday? Yeah. Where did you walk yesterday? Where did you walk to yesterday? Or maybe we don't know if she did. So let's start with, did you walk yesterday? Because first we need to know if she did the action or not. If she says yes, then we can say, okay, where did you walk to? But we must first ask, did you do this action? So did you walk yesterday, Mariana? Yes, I did. Good. Now we can say, okay, where did you walk to yesterday? I walked. Walked. Yeah, that sounds like worked. Walked. It's a very heavy O. I walked. Walked. Yeah. No, I walked or worked. Was work. Okay, so where did you work? So did you work yesterday? Yes, I did. Where did you work? At Toyota. At Toyota, yeah. Okay, so with just pronunciation, be careful with, because I heard walk, work, or walk. So the first, so this one's work. 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 Yeah, that was good. Work. This one's walk. Yes. That's right. Do the action. Walk. So it's very hard for when I didn't hear which one, because you have to copy the pronunciation like a native speaker. So work, walk. So you have to remember the pronunciation. Okay, good. So just write those down to practice your pronunciation, but good questions. Very good. So that's how we ask questions about the past. We're not asking questions about now or tomorrow or next week. This was, yesterday. Did you work? Last week. Did you see Rosanna? Last night. Did you do your homework? So it's all past simple questions. Okay, let's keep moving forward. So 6C, life logging. Life logging. So let's look at these sentences about what someone did last week and complete them with the verbs. So remember, it looks like they are already in the past. Made is from make. Posted is from post. Took is from take. Wore is from wear. Wrote, so the W is silent, is from write. So number 1, Jimin. I wrote in my diary. Yeah. So number 1, I wrote in my diary. So it should say in. Yeah, it should say in. Okay, number 2, Conrado. I Sorry, I took photos and shared them with friends. Yeah, took. 3, Leticia.
Deus falou comigo, filho, tu tá protegido, o dia de glória tá vindo. Eu te blindei contra os malfeitores, curei suas dores, cicatrizei suas feridas, ele vai correr se vir. A tropa toda na pista, bebeu não desperdiçar uma linha. Onda de vulgo que essa blogueirinha, eu procuro a luz no fim do túnel, pago o que me mata e também pago o túnel. Apaga esse mano que anda falando algo, mas mentira por mídia. Realmente acho desnecessário, realmente ando com tempo
Wore. Yeah, wore. So I wore a fitness tracker and went running. So I wore, this is what a fitness tracker looks like. Does anyone have one? To what? I don't know, because does it look like this? So that's a fitness tracker. I think, does anyone have one? Yeah, I remember you showed me. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. See, that's a fitness tracker. Yeah. You'd said to me this is popular in Colombia, but you don't see much people here. Yeah. So that's a fitness tracker. So I wore, like when you wear clothes, you wear jewelry, you put something on your body because you wear something. So fitness tracker is this. So the sentence is I wore a fitness tracker and went running. Number 4, Fernando. Yeah, I posted a video with my phone. 5, Odilon. Yeah, I made comments. I made comments on social media. So this all happened in the past, last week. Someone is telling you what they did. It's a finished, completed action. They're not doing it now. They did it in last week. So who writes a diary? Do you guys know what a diary is? So does anyone write in a diary?
Sometimes write diary.
In a diary. Is it paper or is it online diary?
Online diary.
Uh-huh.
I use online diary.
Really good. How many pages do you write a day?
Maybe I write a diary.
In my diary?
In my diary.
Yeah.
2 times a week.
2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah.
That's very good. Good. And it's an online diary. Good. Does anyone else? Conrado, do you write love letters in your diary? He writes what's in his heart, love letters, love poems. For his future wife, yeah. That's funny. So this is a diary. When you write your feelings or just what's happened. Jimin, do you write in English or in Korean in your diary?
I'm using Korean, but sometimes I use English.
Okay, interesting. Very good. So that's a good habit. It's a good thing to do. Okay, so let's read an article now. And we're going to match A to B to which paragraph we have. So if we look on the next page, so I'll read and then you can read after me to practice pronunciation. So we've got a title, life logging, and then a small subtitle, a 21st century diary. So remember the 21st century? What years are the 21st century? 2002? Yeah, 2000 to 2099. We're in the 21st century now. So This is life logging. Maybe that's a new word for diary now. That's what people do now. They don't do diaries, they do life logging. They write all about their life. And maybe as Jimin showed us, it's online. She has an online diary. So that's 21st century. Yeah. Okay, we have one paragraph, second paragraph, the third paragraph, and then the fourth paragraph. So can we see 4 sections? They're called paragraphs. So now we need to know which one from number 3, 1 to D, would be a good title for that paragraph. But let's read first and understand. So we know what life logging is. It's like writing in a diary, but it's a 21st century diary. Interesting. Okay, let's read. So in the 20th century, yeah, Samuel Pepys, yeah, maybe that's right, I don't know, wrote the most famous diary in the English language. He began the diary in 1660 and finished it in 1669. Pepys wrote about important events in the history of England and about the lives of famous people. His diary also described the everyday lives of the people in London and his family. So this diary is very useful for historians in the 21st century. Today, some people still write diaries, such as Jimin. In a recent survey of 500 people, yeah, make sure that of is very strong. Of 500 people, 23% said they wrote their diary regularly. 1 in 5 men and 1 in 4 women. This included over 35% of people aged between 18 and 34. People aged between 35 and 64 don't often have a diary, probably because they are busy with careers and family life. But 35% of people over 65 also write a diary. In the 21st century, a lot of people want to share their lives and they record the things they do with digital technology. This is called life logging. Now, because it's in, you can see that it's in apostrophes. So I made my voice a little bit different. So if I'm presenting this to people as a presentation, you would say this is called life logging. So you make your voice different so that they could catch that this is the name of the new technology of writing their diary. So Gordon Bell became famous as the first life logger in 2000. He wore a camera around his neck, and the camera automatically took a picture every 30 seconds. In this way, Bell made a digital diary of his life. Nowadays, everyone is a life logger. We take photos of what we had for breakfast, post comments on social media about the news, and make videos of events in our lives. We wear fitness trackers so we know how much exercise we did and where we went. So, just as today's historians read the diary of Samuel Pepys and learn about life 300 years ago, maybe historians in the future will look at our photos, videos, and comments and learn about our lives in the 21st century. Okay, so let's go back to those questions. Well, those, they're not really questions. The sentences. So which paragraph do you think would be good if it had the title, The First Life Logger? Well, where it says Gordon Bell, right? Because he was the first one. So that is paragraph 3, because that's 1, the introduction. That's 2. And this is 3. Just check the battery. So that's so it's this one, this paragraph, because it says he was the first life logger in 2000. So we can put an A next to this paragraph. How about the diary of Samuel Pepys? Four? Yeah, I agree. That's a good title for this paragraph. Yep, the diary of Samuel Pepys. So you can put a B next to here. How about people who write a diary today? This one, yes, because it's telling us information about people who write diaries today. How many percent? How many men and women? And what age? So we can put a C on this paragraph. And the last one, life logging today and in the future. The last one. Yeah, so that's usually your conclusion. You're talking about what you think will happen for the future about the topic. So this is the last one, D. Yeah, D. Okay, let's answer some questions about the article. So when did Samuel Pepys write his diary? Number 4. When did Samuel Pepys write his diary?
Um, 1660.
Yes, so to make a full sentence, he wrote his diary,
He began the diary.
his diary,
He began his diary in 1660
yes,
and finished it in 1669.
yes, perfect. But we can just say 1660, because when did he write his diary? Or we can say from 1660 to 1669. Maybe we can go from 1660 to 1669. So you can say from. So when you want to talk about for how long, which time, you can use the word from. But if it was just in 1 year, you'd say in 1660. But if he did it from one time to another time, then you say from. Number 2, what did he write about? Important events. So he wrote about important events. Yep. What % of people write a diary nowadays? Now? 23%. Yep, 23%. Who writes a diary more, men or women?
I think more.
Women?
Yes.
Women. So women write diaries more. Who was the first life logger? Yes, Gordon Bell. Yeah, he was the first life logger. That was in paragraph 3. The big paragraph in the middle. How often did his camera take a photograph? Seconds. Yes, every 30 seconds. How do many people record and share their lives nowadays? Social media? Yeah, that's how people record and share their life, by social media.
Everyone.
No, how? How is like, how do they do it? What do they use? So by social media. By social media. In the future, why will people look at our photo, videos, and comments? So why the last paragraph? To learn about our lives in the 21st century. That's why people will look at our photos and videos and our comments, to learn about our lives. The same how we look at writings from the 15th century or whatever, to learn about their life in that century. Okay, we've got this verb, write. So remember the W is silent, write. So we've got words that are called prepositions. So if I say write about history, is that a preposition or an article and a noun? So you've got some verbs that you can plus a preposition to them. Like, for example, you know, to give in, to give up. Do you know what to give up means? To give up. Like I gave up. So you can see it's got the verb and then it's got a preposition, up. They have to go together. That's one verb, to give up. So if I write a sentence, it would be, you know, yesterday I gave up on my homework because it was too hard. Good sentence. I gave up on my homework because it was too hard. So this verb is not just one verb, like one word, I mean. It's two words. Gave up. It has a preposition. It's a verb plus a preposition, and you must keep it together. So even you can see the subject, and then the verb plus preposition, and then whatever information. Another one is like to walk by is very different to walk. This action is a different action to walk. To walk by means like to pass. So I can say, did you walk to class? But then a different question is, did you walk by the library when you came here? So you can see verb, preposition, verb, preposition. And that's an example. But there's other ways. We have verbs, verb plus article. So an article is words like a, the, or an. And then a noun. So an example is write about subject. See the snow. Play the instrument. So we can see here, we've got a verb, an article, sorry, no, that's the first rule. That's not that one. So verb, article, noun. See the snow. Not just to see, but did you see the snow? So see the snow. Different to this rule. This one was, you know, write, to write to. To write to is a different verb than to write, because, you know, did you write a story? But did you write to your grandmother is a different question. So number one, do you think that's the first one or the second one? Write about history. About is not an article. I don't think. About is not an article. So I think it's a preposition. Yeah, it's a preposition. So it's the first rule. So write about. To write to or to write about. So write about history. Number 2, is that preposition or article? Yeah, because a is an article and diary is a noun. Yeah, so write a diary. Write to your grandparents. Preposition or article with the action, with the verb. Preposition, yep. Write. Sorry, preposition. Write to, and then more information to your grandma. Number 4, write down a word. Preposition. So write down a word. So it's an article is only a, an, or the. There's no other articles. That's the only articles. Okay, so interesting. So what is that trying to show us? That there can be action words or verbs that are attached to a preposition or an article and a noun. And you must keep them together. So you can't say, I gave on my homework up. You can't put words in between here. So you must keep the verb and the preposition or the verb and the article and the noun together and then have a subject before it and then more information afterwards. So let's practice it. Number 1, Alexandria, make me a sentence. Not using this, your own. Okay, it's a little bit hard because I know you don't. Yeah. So to give up, to walk by, to write about, you can use one of those. So make me a sentence. Like I gave up on my homework yesterday because it was too hard. So you can use one of these: to give up, to walk by, to write to, or to write about. Yes. I wrote about my, my life. We don't say our history, about my life as I wrote about my life experience. Yeah, good. I wrote about. Good. So we made that in the past. So that's a good sentence. I wrote about. So we can see that preposition attached to the verb. I wrote about my life experiences. We don't really say my history. We only say history about the history of a person if they've passed away. But because we're still living, my life experiences. Yeah, good. Joanna, make me a sentence with the verb and article noun, the second rule. Yeah. He wrote an email. Yeah, to his boss. Maybe. Yeah, he wrote an email. Good. He wrote, and it's got an noun, email to his boss. Good. So we can see that's number 2. He wrote an email to his boss. Yeah, good. Okay, let's go to the next part. We have questions. Let's answer them. So what things do you write every day or every week? Homework? Homework? Comments on social media? Yeah, you put comments. Messages? Yeah, messages to your loved ones. That's writing. Yeah. So yeah, email is very common to write emails. Yep. For work, for your college, for, yeah. What do you write about? Okay, so we said what it could be about. Maybe it's for your work, or to your loved ones, maybe to your children's school, if you have children here in their class. Who do you often write to? Who? So it means a person. So your family, your your friends. How do you write to these people? So how? We want to know how. By email, by text, by Instagram, by... Does anyone actually write a letter?
I send the message to friends.
What do you send?
My event.
Yeah,
Yeah.
events. Okay, good. You send events to your friends. But how? By email? How? By text messages. Yep. Who else uses something different? Video call. Does anyone send messages by video call? Maybe you can take little short videos and then send the video. Yeah. So how? Make sure that's what we want to... How do you write? Yeah, true. Not how do you speak. Okay, so we can't write in a video. So yes. So how, who, and what? Which, let's look at this question. Which new words did you write down in your English class today? Who wrote down some new words? I did. Life logging. That was my new word. Yeah. Did anyone circle any new words from the reading, maybe, that you weren't sure? You circled it to learn new word. So what I want you to know from this is these words, that when you ask a question, you have to know the difference when you ask what, who, how, and which. Make sure you understand why they're different. Okay, then we've got true. Which of these sentences are false? Sorry, not false, which are for and which are against. So when something, a sentence is for, it means like they agree. If something is against, it means they don't agree. So if I say you can share photos with family and friends, do you agree? Are you for that? Do you agree that you can share photos with family and friends? Yeah, I'm not against it. Against it means I don't agree. I don't want that. It's very bad. I don't agree. So I agree. F, for. I'm for that. It's like pretend that there's a vote for a new president of your country. You know, are you for him or against him? Or you're watching a soccer football game, Brazil versus Argentina. Are you for Brazil or are you for Argentina? So who are you, your team? Or are you against? So F, you're for, you agree, or against, you don't like it, you don't want that. So you can share photos with family and friends. Yeah, I agree. I'm for it. So I'm going to put an F. Number 2, what would you put, Mariana? So people spend all their free time looking at their phones. You agree? So 4. Yeah. Fitness trackers make people do more exercise. Daniel. I think I'd be 4, because I think do you feel, Mariana, when you wear it, you feel to do more exercise? Because not really. Okay, so maybe against, maybe it doesn't work. They make you think you're gonna feel, okay, I have to use it. Maybe it gives you a reminder, but it doesn't really make you do more exercise. So maybe let's go against. It doesn't make people. So I don't agree. It doesn't make people do more exercise. Because Mariana said, I have one and I don't do more exercise. So we don't agree with this sentence. So A, against. So think of it, F is I agree and A, I don't agree. It's interesting and fun to look at your past. Yeah, I agree. I'm for that. Yeah, 4. Sometimes people write bad things about others. Yeah, agree, but I'm against it. It means I don't agree that this should happen. So I'm against. So you understand why A? Because I don't agree that's a good thing. So F is I agree and it's a good thing. A is I don't agree and it's a bad thing. Historians can learn about people from their photos and videos. Yeah, I agree. That's true. Historians can learn. Okay, what's your opinion? Are you for or against life logging? So I guess Jimin, she will be for because she does it. She writes in a life logging anyway. So she's for it. She agrees. Why? Why do you like it, Jimin, to write in your diary?
Because I can remember my past. It impacted my life.
Good. So she can look back on her diary and remember what she did. That's very interesting. Imagine reading something from 10 years ago, or even just last year, you know? Yeah. What about Daniel? Are you for life logging or against it? Do you think it's a good idea? Yeah, you're for? Yeah, why? So Jimin said because she can look back and see what she did. It's interesting. Yes, you can remember your past. Yep. You can also share it with someone. Maybe you can connect. Maybe if I share something and somebody sees my comment or my diary, they can connect with me. Yeah. Okay, let's do this part, speaking. So we're going to make questions. And we're going to ask about, like, for example, how many photos do you take every day? Questions like that. So my question, I'll start first to Conrado. What is your favorite social media that you use? Which one? Which is your favorite social media? Huh? What's that? I know you're joking. Should I look it up or no? Is it bad? That's funny. How do I spell it? U T? Is it this one? Yeah. Facebook, yeah. I don't in Brazil very popular this one. And that's yeah, in that time. So is this what you use? So that's a good question. It was which social media is your favorite? Which social media platform is your favorite? Oh, good. Facebook, Instagram, which one? Which one? Which? Facebook, Instagram, which one? Both? Twitter? Twitter. Yeah, you can say Twitter. Yeah. So which? Huh? Only two. Facebook and Instagram? Yes. Yeah. I thought so. Because same for me. Okay. Another question. Daniel, what do you take? What your photos, what are they mostly of? What are your photos mostly of? That you take the photos, what are they mostly of? Are they of yourself, of your food, of the building? Myself, and they're selfies.
Yeah.
That's why they call them selfies. It's what? Yeah, that would be your answer. Maybe, yeah. So what do you take photos of the most? Of places? Good. Yeah. Flowers, nice. Plants and flowers. Yes, me too. I take lots of in my garden. When you see them in the garden or yeah.
When I woke up, I saw when I
See
frog, I think
ah, beautiful. When you see a nice flower. Flower. Good. So places and flower. Good answer. Okay, one more question and then you can go. Letizia. How much time do you spend on social media every day? How much time? See you, Solange. 4 hours every day? Yeah, I know. I think if I calculate mine, oh, yeah, I'm very close. So good. How much time do you spend? So why am I practicing these questions? Because I want you to know the difference between when we ask which, what, how much time. Okay, let's do one more. Maybe Joanna, who do you send messages to the most? Who? My boyfriends? I heard boyfriend. Okay. Why not? Joanna, why not? So to my boyfriend. Good. So I send messages the most to my boyfriend. Of all the people, to my boyfriend. Good. We can still do one more. Who didn't I ask? Maybe I'll go back to Mariana. When do you use social media the most? When? Yes, good. Before classes. Yeah, before my classes. Yeah, good. Good, you didn't say during my classes. So when? It's about time. When? Does anyone have any more questions? Like with asking about when, what, where? We didn't do a where. Where? Where do you post your photos? Jimin, where do you post your photos? Where?
I'm using Instagram.
Yeah, on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yep, on Instagram.
Yeah, I usually post my photos on Instagram.
Yeah. Yep, I mostly, sorry, what was your sentence? I mostly post my photos
on Instagram.
Yeah, good sentence, on Instagram. I mostly post my photos on Instagram. So one question more from, what can you think of to ask about, when does someone do something, where, what, but it's about life logging, remember, social media. It has to be about this topic, writing in the diary.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Where do you go when maybe
Life logging. It has to be about life logging, like diary writing, remember? So no, it's too much of a where do you train? No, it has to be about life logging, remember, like about the diary. Like the life logging is I wonder if there's a word in Spanish for this one. Life logging. Yes. Yeah. When did you last post? Yeah, that's a good one. When did you last post a picture? But it could be also a comment. When did you last post a comment? Good. When? Conrado, when, so I'm talking about time, did you last post a comment on Facebook or Instagram? 2 minutes ago? Yesterday? Yeah, good. Yep, yesterday. Yep, I know, because we use social media very often. Yesterday, good answer. Okay, we are finished. So we made a survey. So a survey is like a question. So how many? 5 or 6 questions? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we did 7. So this could be your survey. So you can imagine you're asking more questions about someone, how they use social media, how often they put a photo, who did they last send a message to? Joanna said her boyfriends. See you tomorrow. Do they know each other? Yes. So that's a survey. It's a question, like questions about life logging. Do you have any questions? We'll go look back at grammar if you want before next lesson will be next lesson is on how was your evening? But let's go back. I'll give you a quick look at some grammar. So close this one. So we have the past simple tense. So if you imagine when we speak, actually I'll show you some photos. When we speak, actually I know what I'll do. YouTube, past simple tense. Let's watch a quick video. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. Okay, let's watch this one.
Whether you're trying to get your ideas down, compose a message, or reply to someone, it can be difficult to write well and write back.
ESL Library. Simple past. What are verb tenses? Verb tenses show the time that an action gives birth. The simple past is a verb tense. We use the simple past tense for big past actions. For example, I watched a movie yesterday. I ate dinner 2 hours ago. I was busy last week. With regular verbs, we use the verb plus ed to form the simple past. The verb form is the same for all subjects. For example, the simple past of the verb watch is watch. I watched my dog yesterday. She played the guitar at my party last month. The students studied last night. With irregular verbs, the verb changes into a different form. We do not use ed. Here are some examples of irregular verbs. Listen and repeat. Do, did. Drink, drank. Eat, ate. Go, went. Have, had. Run, ran. Say, said. Sing, sang. Sleep, slept. Write, wrote. The verb form is the same for all subjects. For example, the simple past form of the verb eat is ate. We went to Paris 2 years ago. My dog slept on my bed last night. We drank coffee yesterday morning. Be is the only simple past verb that changes form for different subjects. The two simple past forms of the verb be are was and were. I was cold yesterday afternoon. My dog was hungry. My new shoes were expensive. Look at the picture and say or write a simple past sentence. For example, they ate pizza last night. Now you try.
Okay. Yes, that's a very good video. Okay, so that was just really quickly about the past simple. So you can see how we form it, how we make the sentences. And remember, there's many ways. Sorry. So there's many ways to make those sentences, but this is just the past simple. So subject, verb. And we add the ed, but there's some irregular which break the rule. And then we made lots of questions today, and we're still going to continue next lesson with that.